Yeah, it's funny in a lot of ways as kids. You know, it's such a,
You know where you left it.
even now, it's such a different level.
Maybe the $10
Such an awakening when they get to that next
Check for the
level.
GPS tracker.
They wake up like the old movie line, we're not in Kansas anymore, Toto.
Wait, no, Big Will. Everything good, man. How you doing? Yeah? I think you're up in Forsyth, right?
All allowed to get Toto.
You're down on the back side of the circle, right? Forsyth Circle. I saw the property transfer come through when you feed Bob. Yeah?
In education, you know, some people
Oh, yeah.
say,
Well, you're welcome to the
the ones
fifth
that
district. You're in
really
my
want to
district.
learn will get regardless of what you do. It's the other ones we spend all the time with. Trying to motivate you. And I said that one time, I said, you know, wonder what our kids could do if we put the same amount of money into the talent. Exceptional kids, what they could do if we funded them the way we do the ones that don't.
Tracy, Blair.
Great area. I'm just down the road the side of Lake.
When I first started coaching those years,
He's
we
young.
didn't go.
And I just don't trust it.
Adam's way young.
Weren't
I
in
set
the
up a
playoffs.
group,
But he's, you're
2000 when I
The funniest thing is we
She's
were
old.
at AE one night.
Someone who's not trusting me.
Still on the road the side of Lake.
Ben was coaching, David was quarterback, whatever
Yes,
group
and
that
it's gotta get worked
was.
out, so we got
We didn't
schedulers
get
and
there
everything,
tonight,
so I
we
just,
see our house.
until I'm 100%.
We had to
I was
sit
worried about you until I saw that your email. I thought, okay,
That's
that's
what
what
kind of got in before the big bump.
That's all it was. I tried to
You
send
kind of got on the front edge of
because
it.
I took some time off. And,
Yeah.
because
you're doing real estate too, right?
I'll just do it the old way. So this time I did it the new way, so I think I
Right,
did it.
right. Yeah, I know. I know.
We're sitting there though.
You're right.
I like to dot and cross.
Yeah, I know some of them right now, but this gets close to halftime, bands getting on that gal, I didn't know that. I didn't. Our band, so they can't get down.
I like doing what I do, but I like to do it right.
I did the halftime thing, they come on field sheet. Didn't I tell you? I said, you sure did.
Thank you, Miss Blair.
Thank you, Miss Blair. Well, we got two of them in there, so she's all right.
Came down here to Loudon once, it was cold, they were playing the maybe in the Purple Panthers, I don't know. Maybe in Howard or Chattanooga, Chattanooga Central.
How'd you pick him?
Purple Panthers. Watch over, waiting to, and like I said, them old running backs, they could also be shooting good shit linemen in the bed.
I wasn't saying you shouldn't, I just wondered how you landed there.
They used to, when I was in high school, I graduated in '69, but at that time, the biggest gym around in Buck County was Everett High School, and they had a big tournament every year, holiday tournament. Riverside would come, and they'd come in, see, was it Dorsey Sims was the coach? But they come in, of course, they were one of the early gyms that actually had double tier seating. They come in, all them young men had their gold blazers on, shirt and tie and everything. They come in, they come in there and they go right up the steps and across the balcony back down. Of course, you can.
I'm waiting to get started.
When they come
No,
in.
come on, call it, let's go.
They use that old
We
red
know what time it
bandana.
starts.
There he is.
Tennessee High School. One back in. My ex.
Worry about it all night.
You got it.
I know, just, every family, they just like to check them on it.
Well, your husband's done one night.
Buddy, you squared away? Yes, sir. Okay. All right, I'm gonna call the Loudon County Commission meeting for August 2nd, 2021 to order. It is 6:02 p.m. Jim Jenkins, we have a public hearing first. Step up to the podium and tell us about the two resolutions.
Yes, sir. This is a resolution amending the Loudon County, the zoning map of Loudon County, Tennessee, pursuant to Chapter 713-7-105 Tennessee Code annotated to rezone from R1 Suburban Residential District to C2 General Commercial District, Loudon County Tax Map 16, Parcel 324.00, located at 810 Old Midway Road, Loudon County, Tennessee, situated in the second legislative district.
Second
The
one,
next one's a resolution amending the municipal and regional subdivision regulations of Loudon County, Philadelphia, Greenback, and the planning regions of Lenore City and Loudon, Article 3, General Requirements and Minimum Standards of Design, Section C lots.
Jim, can you tell us how the planning commission voted on these two?
Commissioner Tinker, I didn't bring the resolution. I know the first item that they, it was, I believe it was 7 against, 2 for, and 1 abstained. The second item was unanimous.
In favor?
Yes, sir.
Thank you.
okay. All right, both of those will be voted on item 6 on the agenda. Anybody from the general public wish to speak against or for either one of these zoning resolutions? Step to the podium, state your name, and tell us what's on your mind. Okay. I've asked Commissioner Duff tonight to open the meeting with the pledge and a prayer.
All rise. Pledge.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Remain standing for the prayer, please. Father, thank you for each and every day you have blessed us here on earth. Thank you for your tender mercies. Thank you for giving us friends and family to share joys and sorrows. I asked you to bless my friends, relatives, brothers, sisters in Christ, and those I deeply care for. Where there is joy, give them continued joy. Where there is pain or sorrow, give them your peace and mercy. Where there is self-doubt, release and renewed confidence. Where there is need, fulfill their needs, bless their homes, bless their families, bless their finances, their goings and their comings. Protect our families, lead, guide, and direct us by your Spirit. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen.
Amen.
Hey, Tammy, call the roll.
Brewster. Here. Mears.
Here.
Hurley. Tinker.
Here.
Satterfield.
Here.
Whitfield.
Here.
Cohen.
Here.
Duff.
Here.
Shaver.
Aye.
Waller.
Okay. All right, next up is the adoption of the August 2nd, 2021 Loudon County Commission agenda.
Mr. Chairman, I make a motion to approve the agenda.
Okay, do we have a second? Okay, we got a motion by Commissioner Shaver, second by Commissioner Waller to adopt the budget, to adopt the agenda. Any comments?
Mr. Chairman, I'd like to just information for the commission. Commissioner Whitfield gave me a call, and Fort Hill is relatively going to be not used by the junior football program now. And I got a plat I gave to everyone, and this is just something that you can look at. It's 4.4 acres there of property. We just need, and Mr. Simpson, if you could help us out, we'd appreciate it. We need to go ahead and start taking care of it, get some lots on there, and so we can secure the property. And at some time on down the road, see what we need to actually do with the property.
Do you want that added to the agenda?
That, or does everyone think that's sufficient, what was identified tonight?
Well, if it's county property, I don't know anything we need to vote for.
No.
And maybe by workshop, if y'all got a plan, sell it, keep it, whatever looks like long-term. We don't need another piece of
No.
vacant ground
Is
sitting
that
around.
school board or county property?
They say it's county.
It's county property.
Okay,
They've been previously 99-year lease, but I'll ask our guy that does the mowing, what he charges to knock it down a little bit, and they'll get maintenance to secure it.
I talked to Stephen Wolf day before yesterday, kind of let him know that Commissioner Mears is gonna bring that up. All gates are secured except for one. They think they'll be totally out of there in the next, hopefully 30 days. They still got the concession stand to clear out. Their trailer came in on Friday. They'll start transferring that into their portable trailer. And then they think they'll be pretty much done in the next 30 days.
And I think giving them all the time they need, I don't think it's a great rush on it.
Because we
Okay.
certainly, we don't want to make them feel like we're throwing them out, because they have been an asset to this community for a number of years.
Where are they going?
They're going
Going to the new
to, all
football
moving
field.
to the high school,
The whole operation?
the whole operation.
So Gary, David, whoever's involved, Kelly, whatever down here, maybe by the workshop, if we got an ideal of, like we did the Browder School property, put it on the market, let's see if we can sell that thing right now while the property's hot.
4.4 acres in the city of Loudon would be very valuable. I'll make a price on the property tonight if you'll accept it.
Well, we've done had that conversation. You have to get with Susan on that one, so.
She is, she's given me her approval.
And I was thinking that we do need,
Everywhere is a good place for the new annex for Buddy.
Mr. Chairman, I do feel like that we need to run it through capital projects and have discussion about it too.
Yeah.
I think there's some logistics that we need to talk about on that property with Susan Husky also.
so as I hear tonight, we'll let Buddy decide who's gonna cut the grass.
We've got a contractor, I'll just see what he would charge to add that on there for,
Well, 100 grand sitting back there, he's got mowers.
He's not in
I'll
that
price
area.
mow.
Go ahead.
All right. Any further discussion on the adoption of the agenda? Okay, all in favor signify by saying aye. Any opposed? Okay. Next up is reading and acceptance of the June 28, 2021 Loudon County Commission meeting minutes. And we've added the July 6th budget adoption minutes. Anybody want
Chairman, I'll
to
make a motion to approve both sets of minutes.
Okay, we got a motion by Commissioner Shaver,
Second.
seconded by Commissioner Satterfield. Any further discussion? All in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Any opposed? Okay, motion carried. Tammy, you want to get the general comments? Okay. Here we go. Okay, first up is Jeannie Mowry. Step to the podium and tell us what's on your mind.
Good evening. I just wanted to, I'm here to address the adequate facilities tax issue again. And I just wanted to thank you, commissioners, for continuing to keep this issue on your radar, continuing to look at that. I don't have any new information for you tonight, but I just wanted to let you know if you have any questions or concerns about the information we've already given you, I'd be glad to answer any questions.
Thank you.
Thank you. Next up is the Honorable Mayor, Tony Akins.
Well, thank you, Mr. Chairman. Likewise, as Ms. Mallory said, we're just here to, in case you have any questions, certainly we would love to get it settled and move on and doing the people's business and what they all elected us to do, and just here to again, we don't want to rehash it, you know how we feel about it, and certainly I've talked to some of you, and we just would like to have a resolution to it. Thank you.
Thank you. Rodney Grugan, step to the podium. Tell us what's on your mind.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. This is a board resolution from the Loudon County Chamber of Commerce regarding the change of the adequate facility tax revenue allocation. Whereas the Loudon County Chamber of Commerce is a representative of the business community in Loudon County with over 450 members. Whereas the Chamber supports the funding of Loudon County and Lenore City school systems from the respective government entities in order to provide our member businesses with a well-qualified workforce. Whereas students who reside in the unincorporated portions of Loudon County do attend school in the Lenore City school system and make up a substantial part of the overall student population of the Lenore City school system. Whereas the Loudon County government has previously committed to providing limited funding to the Lenore City school system through the adequate facilities tax to assist in the education of students who reside in the unincorporated portions of Loudon County but are educated in the Lenore City school system. It is therefore resolved by the Board of Directors of the Loudon County Chamber of Commerce that the reduction passed by the Loudon County Commission of the percentage of the adequate facility tax committed to the Lenore City school system should be reversed, and the commitment made to the education of all students in Loudon County be upheld. Passed and approved, 15th day of July, 2021. Signed, George Bovee, Chairman of Loudon County Chamber.
Do you want to enter that into the record?
Yes, sir, I would.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you, Rodney.
Yes, sir.
Matthew Coleman.
Thank you, Chairman. I'd like to thank the entire Budget Committee as well as the rest of the commission for continuing to work through this with us and for hearing us out, taking the time to review the numbers with us in the workshop as well as in the board meetings. And I'm just here to ask again that you help us support a growing school system and the roughly 1,000 kids or so that do not live inside the city limits that attend that school. Thank you.
Thank you. Dr. Barker.
Thank you, Commissioners. I would like to thank the Loudon County Chamber of Commerce for your resolution in support of our quest to restore funding to Lenore City schools. I would ask again that you take a hard look at that and restore our funding. This is a resolution that you passed that is going to affect not only this year, but for every year to come. So for the next 4 years and then beyond. So I'd like for you to think seriously about those constituents that you have in your areas that are attending our school district and the needs that they have. We had registration day today. It's an exciting time in all of our schools, and indeed, we are seeing increasing enrollment yet again. So this is a dire need, and I would ask that you reverse your decision and restore funding to Lenore City schools. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, that concludes the public comments. Jim Jenkins, back to the podium for the two resolutions.
Make a motion, we forego the second reading.
Second that.
Here, no second. Jim, go ahead. We don't want to have to vote.
What?
We're gonna vote on that?
Yeah, you're ready to go. We're waiting to hear from you.
What did you second? He made a motion and you seconded
To
it.
forego the reading a second time.
Yeah.
We haven't voted on it yet.
Yeah, but we're not, Jim don't have to read it to us.
I don't want him to have to stand up there and read it again. We just heard it 30 seconds ago. If we're that senile, maybe we need to.
My point was,
He
he
made
seconded
it.
your motion.
Okay.
Now we have to vote on it.
Yeah,
We've
have
got
to
a
vote on
motion and a second
Voice vote.
to delete the reading of the resolution.
which have
Any
already read it by
discussion?
now.
Yeah.
All in favor signify by saying aye.
Ah,
Any opposed? Okay, number one,
I make a motion that we accept the planning commission's recommendation to deny the resolution to change the zoning map.
I'll second Mr. Pinkman's motion.
okay, so we got a motion to accept the planning's recommendation or vote of 7-2 to deny the resolution.
That's
Right.
it.
Any further discussion? Okay, a vote will be to sustain that motion, and
Yes.
second, and a no will be not to. So, call the roll.
Mears,
I vote in favor of the recommendation. Aye.
Hurley, Tinker,
Aye.
Satterfield,
Aye.
Whitfield,
Aye.
Cullen,
Aye.
Duff,
Aye.
Shaver,
Aye.
Waller,
Aye.
Brewster. Aye.
Motion carries. Number 2.
Make a motion, we accept the recommendation of the zoning commission and approve the new zoning changes.
Second.
Okay, we got a motion by Commissioner Satterfield, second by Commissioner Tinker, to approve the second resolution. Any further discussion? Okay, yes vote will be to approve it, and no vote will be not to approve it. Call the roll, Tammy.
Tinker,
Aye.
Satterfield,
Aye.
Whitfield,
Aye.
Cullen,
Aye.
Duff,
Aye.
Shaver,
Aye.
Waller,
Aye.
Brewster. Aye. Mears.
Aye.
Okay, motion carries.
Thank you all.
Thank you, Jim.
Jim, thank you.
Thank you.
Next up is Susan Husky on a quitclaim deed for District 2.
Good afternoon. Request approval to do a quick claim deed to LCUV for a piece of property inside the Franklin Center at Walmart.
Make a motion to approve.
I'll second.
Okay, there's a motion by Commissioner Shaver, seconded by Commissioner Brewster. Any further discussion? This is for an electrical box.
It's
For
not
spot
our
the box
box.
is set now.
It's the
Okay.
box that's at piece of property.
Any further discussion? Call the roll, Tammy.
Tinker,
Aye.
Satterfield,
Aye.
Whitfield,
Aye.
Cullen,
Aye.
Duff, Shaver,
Aye.
Waller,
Aye.
Brewster. Aye. Mears.
Aye.
Thank you.
Okay, motion carries.
Thank you, Susan.
Okay, next up is Commissioner Shaver.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. 2 weeks ago, we had the conversation about the adequate school facility tax. We had the group here, they're back tonight. Just looking for an update. I know there's been conversations with some commissioners, Mayor Akins, Mayor Bradshaw. I think he was in Florida last time we was here, so.
South Carolina.
South Carolina.
Carolina.
South Carolina. So just looking for, have we resolved the problem, or is the paperwork coming from Lenore City to Chip's trustee's office yet, or what's?
I think I can give a, you wanna,
Go ahead.
well, with, the mayor being out, we weren't able to have as much communication as we'd like to have had, but we, I think that we are getting close to what, should be an agreement between the two mayors, if it pleases this body, you'll have to vote on it. But, that's why I had it originally requested to be under my name, and since there wasn't, any update, I had taken it off, but, I'm hoping that we can get it all written up over the next few days, and maybe the mayor can call a meeting to have this one vote, a special call meeting before the next, workshop.
I've talked with a couple commissioners, I've also talked with Mayor Akins, a couple of councilmen in Lenore City as well. I think that in the long picture, with the controversy this has brought, I think we found hopefully an agreement that everybody can agree on. It's
What is it? I keep hearing, what's the agreement? Is it
Well,
7
it's not
years?
rolled
Is
up
it
yet. That's
mutual
not- that's
agreement?
not-
What's, I've heard all the parts
We're
too.
gonna hammer all that little bit out when we get prepared to bring the amendment forward. And I'll bring it forward, I'll sponsor it. I just think tonight wasn't, it's just too soon tonight to bring it in without having everything detailed out.
Are we getting paperwork from Lenore City yet? This is 2 months now if we're not.
I'm not sure, not that I'm aware, but I don't know.
I'm sure we're not. We've not gotten any paperwork, and I understand we've already had several people from Lenore City come and got their building permits. And so these are the folks that generally do it all the time, and after they get their building permits, then they come straight down here and pay it up on the front end. And so they've gotten here to pay it, we can't take their money because we don't have the paperwork from Lenore City because it's being held up there. So there's nothing being, we're already losing money, everybody, Ms. Barker, everybody's losing money now under the system we've got. It's not just 2.5%, it's all losing.
Well, and that's what I mean, when we butt heads, like I said, commission's majority as well as Little City Council's majority. We're both butting heads right here and nobody's winning. So hopefully with this amendment, we'll be able to settle it down, get everybody back on the same page, similar page, where we can all get back to work together again.
I'd like to say something, Mr. Chairman. I had a very good talk with Ms. Mallory at Food Center about 30 minutes last week looking at tomatoes. We shared information.
Okay.
It's amazing what we got done and a better understanding. We didn't have, and I explained this to Ms. Mallory, we didn't have the true information at that time when we were preparing the budget. And yet, it's time we cease this and move forward. We've got greater things to do, and I think that we can find a good compromise and have smooth sailing again, and everybody have a good school year. And I think we can do it.
I guess I'm struggling, Commissioner Mears and the rest of the crowd. I have a real problem with the fact that city, I won't even say the mayor, the city is holding up paperwork. It's kind of like, we're gonna hold you hostage till you do what you want us to do. And like I said, I've been hearing the conversations of what's been being talked about. We want to do it for 7 years. It can't change. We want to have a mutually agreed. Both parties have to agree, which sounds very much EDA-ish like. And we all know how much we like the agreement with EDA. So whoever's working on this, I have come tonight with a resolution. I don't know if I'm going to pull the trigger on this one tonight or we'll just wait and see. It doesn't matter. But it would be my position, we cease giving Lenore City anything until they release the paperwork. They release the paperwork, we put it back in, put section 15 back in, and we're good to go and negotiate right along. The idea of this negotiating while one side's saying, okay, we're gonna hold this up, you don't get anything until we get our way, that's a tough way to do business. So, I guess for tonight, let's just
see, we got 2 weeks.
Let's see what you got. Let's see what you got in 2 weeks, but.
The only thing that I have been made aware of or has been presented to me as a solution was to leave Lenore City's portion at 12.5%, keep the 2.5 that we took this year and then leave Lenore City's portion at 12.5 and let that be it. That's the only thing that
That's the main.
that I've heard. There's no need to sit here acting like nobody knows anything. that's
Yeah, I
going on.
agree.
Yeah.
You know, everybody, the elephant is in the room, so there's no need trying to ignore that. But that's the only thing that's been brought to my attention as a compromise.
A solution.
A solution compromise. And if that's all there is, there's no reason you couldn't, I mean, I don't know, you know, we can put it off 2 weeks, but I don't know that.
Well, we put ourselves in, I mean, there was no fault and no dishonesty by our part. And we both parties, we've seen a lot of water run under the bridge and we need to resolve it one way or the other and go forward.
I would think the first step in resolving it is releasing the paperwork. Wouldn't that kind of make sense?
One of the biggest discussions has been maybe locking it in a certain amount of time.
How many years?
Well, it's been everything from 2 to 4 to 7 to indefinite. And so, of course, I know good and well, this commission is never gonna vote for indefinite, as nice as that would be for Little City School System, but that's just not gonna happen. But I think it needs to be something that's median, that they can also plan ahead with as well.
Bring it back in 2 weeks to the workshop and let's see what you got.
I'd say he brings it
Well,
back.
we'll bring it back for a meeting, for a vote before. No need to go to the workshop.
Well, we can have a special call tonight at the workshop.
That's what I'm saying, that's what I'm
So
saying.
what you're saying is you're gonna have this thing resolved before we get to the workshop.
No, we would just have whatever the mayors think that you guys would agree to. That would
We're
be
gonna
what's
wind
written
up with-
down.
We're gonna
You can
wind
vote
up,
on that.
we're gonna wind up with a special called meeting.
Yes.
Or you can make a motion now.
Dr. Barker, what's y'all's feeling on the 12.5%?
What's
Do you
wrong
want
with special
everything
call
back,
meeting?
or do you want?
What's wrong with special call?
She wants 20%.
30% is what they said.
When you look at the number of students we're serving, I mean, I certainly don't want it to be reduced at all. That's really.
So you
where I'm
want it back
coming.
at 15?
Yeah, that's what I would like, yes.
Yeah, okay.
Now, I have not been privy to the other conversations that have been
Well,
going on.
I just get bits and pieces, like I said, information doesn't travel well across the river, so, you know, sometimes you get in on something
It
or
has
not.
been a busy time trying to get school
Yeah.
started, so I've not been in those conversations either. And so if you ask me what I want, Commissioner Waller, absolutely, you know, I'll take 30%.
I don't blame you for trying to get every dollar.
I'll take 30%, because that's the number of students we serve. But, yes, I mean, that would be my choice, however, and I know there are a lot of, reasons why a compromise would be something good as well, so it's
So
not out of the
what,
question.
what was the projection this year? Do you know, Van, what Lenore City has received this year, this fiscal year from
Yes,
AFT?
yes, I can tell you to the dollar what it's been, and I can also tell you to the dollar from June to July collections right now, we're all way down. We're
Thank you,
down,
Dr. Barker.
we're down, $26,000. Overall, the whole collection are down 30,000. I think that has nothing to do with Lenore City's withholding the paperwork.
No.
The problem, the way the paperwork works, some people pay when they go. Some people pay it when they come and get their building permit, whether it's in the county or whether it's in the city. Like I said, they go to the city, get their building permit, then they drive to Loudon County and say, here, where's my paperwork? I'm gonna pay for it. Chip says we don't have it. If they get their building permit from Jim Jenkins, they just walk upstairs and they pay it. So most of the collections, that's the tiny number, most of the collections could be a year previously. It could have been a year since they got that building permit and have just now moved into their house or got their CO. That's the trigger, certificate of occupancy. But at the end of June, at the end of the fiscal year, the total collection this past year was 1.38 million. 207,000 to Lenore City, 1.17 to Loudon County.
That was for this year.
That was the previous fiscal year, yes.
That does,
Just
that,
closed.
you know, and that's great. Like I said, the only thing about this is it's not a static. It can
Oh,
be
no.
whatever,
No.
but.
We're already seeing a huge drop just now. I think we're all seeing this.
Well, I'd say that makes it significant. It's kind of like two dogs and one bone, isn't it?
I'd
You
say-
know, everybody wants to hang on to what they got.
Absolutely.
How does the Loudon County Schools feel about giving back the 2.5%?
He's
saying
no.
Mr. Guerin, have we seen an increase? I know schools are registering, and are you seeing an increase
I don't have
across?
overall numbers yet, we're seeing a little bit of an increase on the north side of the county, yes, but I don't have numbers yet, today was registration, so, I can better answer that question next Monday after we got all the kids back. To answer your question, I believe it was 3 years ago that county commission decided to take the 800,000 per average year that we were receiving in capital projects and move that to education debt. So for the last 2 years, I've been getting zero for capital projects. So yes, I need some funding in capital projects. It's commission's job to determine where that funding comes from. But yes, I need funding back because we have needs.
This all started without a dollar amount. It was 2.5%. And it was to help out Loudon schools. And it was modeled after the way the feds do things. They take from me on April 15th and they give it to others.
That's a disheartening.
So that's how it works. I never believed it would blow up as much as it did.
You know, it's kind of borderline ironic that we've got this controversy and this animosity going over this when we're fighting to do what's best for Loudon County kids.
Mr. Chairman.
Me having to represent, go
ahead.
I'm sorry.
and you know, and I have to represent all of them, including the Lenore City school system, those Lenore City kids and parents are Loudon County parents.
The problem now is it's gotten into who can slap who the hardest. Well, we won't send you the paperwork.
And we get nothing done doing that.
And it's going downhill at a rapid pace.
Mr. Chairman, I would
Go
like
ahead.
to make a recommendation that we vote upon this tonight, that we do keep the 12.5%, and we have a 7-year cap, and then the commission will take a look at reevaluating it after the 7-year period. We've talked, we need to resolve it and move forward. Let's vote on it, see how it falls.
I'll
Well-
second that.
Okay, we got a motion and a
What's the
second.
7-year significance, Dave?
At the time, after after 7 years, then the commission would go back, look at what, do you want to reevaluate it,
And why
do
so?
away with it, or what would
It
the
stays the same.
What's the
Start, stay the
7
same.
years? Why 7 instead of 2 or 70 or
That's-
10? Where's the 7 come from?
That's the word I got today when I came in the door, Van.
From who?
I won't mention. I heard 2, 5, and 7 as others, so 7 and let's go.
But the only thing about that, and like I said, as we've had other items through the years come up with being locked in like that, it's like having been locked in with previous commissions' decisions to fund projects and to do things, and then, you know, on that, when we get to the point where it comes, you know, it's a lot more than what we expected on the front end. I just, you know, I don't have a problem with reversing or leaving the plan. I just do, I'm not 100% sold on 7 years or 5 years or 6 years. I would like to think that we could get, you know,
It,
I
can I
just
say something
yeah.
to that? It'd been going since 2006 at the same amount, you know, so I don't think 7 years is an extreme time, in my opinion. I see your
I think
point.
it's a political move, and I don't
Very
like 7
political.
years. And so, I mean, there's no way I'm gonna lock something in on 7 years or 5 years or
Call
something
for a
like
vote,
that.
Mr. Chairman.
What's that?
Call for a vote.
Well, I do wanna say something too, cause we're in discussion. I'd like to say that also, you know, we've got another issue on the table with this is we're gonna have to start collecting. Didn't we get a law passed that we can do collections up front now, 50% collections up front?
Correct.
Passed.
Yes.
Yeah.
We were planning to already have that in place, then all this blew up. So yes, that's out there dangling so far.
Okay, so that's gonna put another twist in this little agenda too, is those collections up front.
How does that affect it?
Well,
The agency
I mean-
collectors can receive a 2% of what they collect.
yes. Say that again, nice and loud for them.
The agency that does the collection of the upfront adequate facilities tax collection is eligible to receive 2% of what they collect.
I met with Chris Fry and Chip Miller about this very thing before any of this came up. So when the legislation got passed, I think it took effect in May or May 1st or something like that. And it says that we can now, because the losses all come from the long term, you can have up to 3 years to pay this AFT thing. It's nuts how they wrote it up. Lots of times in that 3-year period, whoever owes it, they're gone. LLC, change names, you can't collect. Chris Fry's out there trying to knock on doors and find people. So the legislature came along and said, okay, if you have this in place, you can now start collecting 50% of it up front. Well, the people that weren't gonna beat you, they're not going to. The people that were, at least you're gonna get half of the payment on the front end. So then the trick was, how do you handle the collections? Because right now, all collections are made by the trustee. So this would have to mean that our 3 entities, Lenore City, Loudon City, and TRDA, would be responsible for actually collecting the money and getting it to the county. So the legislature says, okay, if you want to work out an interlocal agreement with the entity, whether it be TRDA, Loudon, or Lenore City, you can work out a percentage. They can have a percentage of whatever that cash is collected, and then they have to have it. Of course, Chip's got to have it in the bank within 3 days, so it has to come up one way or the other. You got to get it collected in by every 1 or 2 days so you can get it in the bank appropriately. So that's what we've been working on before this came up. And then the cities were going to get a little bit of a 2% is what we came up with, because that's what the trustees commission is and that sort of stuff. So the cities, TRDA, would get 2% of the cash that they collected on the front end. Now, if somebody still wanted to pay 100% of it, like those that have come up in the last few days from North City, they can pay 100% of it. But we can mandate 50% on the front end.
And the city would get 2% of the whole, everything they collect?
Actually, you can,
of the cash they
state
collect.
that amount. You can say 2% or 2.5% or
Mr.
something.
Chairman, I have a
Go
comment.
ahead.
The only thing about voting tonight is, it's like my question to Dr. Barker and to Mayor Akins and so forth, before we up and vote to do anything tonight, you know, David, was your recommendation going to be to leave it at 12.5?
Yes, it was.
Okay, before we could vote on that, there's no need of doing that if that's not acceptable for Lenore City.
Can I say
Mayor, yeah.
Go ahead.
I really wish that, and I appreciate Commissioner Mears's, thoughts. I really wish that we could wait, let Mayor Bradshaw and I continue to work on the 12.5 or whatever the case may be, and let us come back with something, and obviously try to solve this issue with the, collecting, if we're gonna collect it up front, to collect a 2% administrative fee and all that, and I'm trying to obviously pass that on to the Little City Schools to help make up for the shortfall. So if we could, if you would withdraw that and let us wait and try to continue to work on it, I think it would be better.
Well, you and the mayor both right here, right now, have at it.
Well, it's just
I'd like to
not
hear
that
this
simple.
conversation.
I don't
It's
think
just not
that
that
needs to be done now.
It's just not that
I'm gonna get
simple.
home.
I wish it was, but, again, we're trying to have an agreement in place for Loudon County and Lenore City, because obviously, we all leave office, things change. If it's the next commissioner or the next city council, they can always go back and it gives them something to go by for the future. And that was our intent in trying to have something in writing. It's not that, we're trying to commit the future council to, we're just want something in place where there's no misunderstandings out there at all, like apparently there is now. But, I would hope that you would withdraw it, and certainly, again, appreciate your support. You certainly do what you want to, but let us continue to try to work it out.
Mayor, when you say withdraw it, are you saying rescind all the action?
He don't want to vote.
Just don't say the motion.
Rescinding his motion to,
Okay,
and then let us continue to try to work on it, and then come back in a special call meeting if that's what the council or.
You've given me information I was not totally aware of tonight on the
Sure.
election of the two. Mr. Chairman, I would withdraw my motion and it be discussed
Okay, we got a withdrawal.
at a later
Thank
date.
Do we have the second withdrawal?
I'll second that motion.
Okay.
Well, no, Tinker has to
Tinker
withdraw.
He has to pull it out.
Yes, I will. In the meantime, some things that came out that that they've been discussing back and forth, Kelly, like what you were saying. Just if there's something that
fine,
you
too.
don't like, tell the mayor so that they can discuss those, because
But we don't know. We don't know what's being
all you have
discussed.
to do is talk to them.
I think, I'm happy to tell you what we've talked about before anything goes to vote on, if we do it on a special call, I'll send everything out. I think by the end of this week, we can have it. That way gives everybody a week to look over it, ponder it, and
But, you can go in, I've seen you in there.
Oh, yeah. You might see me on your side of the hall.
I agree with Mayor Aiken.
I
This
agree
thing
too.
has got blown out of proportion more than it was worth. I think the two mayors should work it out. I will call the special call meeting, but the paperwork has to be in the hands of the commissioners before that meeting.
When?
And I think we need to address the situation of the upfront collections too, because I think that can make a difference in
Why
this
don't I just make a
situation.
motion, say right now 12.5%, collect up front, 2% goes to the city, vote on it right now, call it a day.
We've got a Chinese fire drill.
Well,
That puts them at 14.5%, we're collecting up front tomorrow.
well, it goes back to my previous question. We can do that, but that doesn't,
As long as Tony's
I got
holding,
them to 14.5%.
as long as he's holding the paperwork, we're getting nothing.
I said if Lenore City Mayor and City Council, like I said, there's no need of us doing anything right now until we get this, until we're gonna
What
submit
makes
the
them
paper.
happy?
I know,
Yeah.
like I said, it's who's got the biggest stick right now.
let's just let them,
I think-
you'll get the resolution. If you don't like it, tell them and say, hey, I can't live with this. And they can either try to work that problem out or not.
I think the mayors have to work together to work this thing out. And once they'll bring it to us.
I'll send it out
And
as
if you
well,
don't
as
like
well
it,
as we're on
you
the
can vote
website
no.
as well. Keep any prevention of any violation of sunshine law.
Okay, the next possible time this can come up would be before the workshop on the 16th.
Yeah.
Can it be done, Mayor?
Yes. What do you need to hear to let the paperwork go?
Okay, I think we've hashed it all and everything.
I wanna
And-
hear
and
that
I
answer.
don't, you know, I think that they're gonna talk about it and they'll go from there, I understand. I mean, we're in a bind right now too, and we're not getting any money, I agree with you. They're not getting anything out of this, but
As
we're
I
gonna
said,
put him on the spot and
Oh, I
say,
love to put him
"Ben,
on
are
the
you
spot.
gonna
I like
release
to
it?"
hear him
You
on the
know,
spot.
So,
I'm not putting them on the spot, but what it's turned into is who can slap who the
A
hardest.
$36,000 adjustment in an $80 million budget.
and the next thing we have to address is, we're gonna have to give some, we're, as a Loudon County Commission, are gonna have to look at what we took out of capital projects too, for educational capital projects, and start looking at giving them a little bit back too.
We've already added
We give it
200.
I know, we've already added some, but
It was supposed to be 200,000 plus this, so.
Well, it's
Right.
not like we spent the $800,000 on something else. It went to pay the debt off for the school
absolutely.
buildings. I mean, it's not like we just took it and
we took
and
it
ran
and
with
spent
it.
it, yes, exactly.
You know,
We didn't
did
get
the right
raises
thing.
out of it, right? County commission didn't get a raise out of that.
I mean, it's, and I understand, like I said, and if anybody wanted to be really chintzy about the amount of money, it'd be Director Guerin there, because like I said, he lost 800,000 last year that he didn't get to build stuff with, that went to paying off the debt.
Well, you can't leave the debt hanging out.
I make a motion, we move on.
I'll second that motion.
No, because now we'll vote on it.
No, I said move on the agenda.
Right.
No, you
Yeah,
gotta do
she's
it
got a minute
correctly. Moving right
along.
That's the
Yeah.
correct.
Okay. All right, we'll wait until
We'll hear
August
from the big
16th.
wheels.
we will. Okay, next up is Mayor
Wait
Bradshaw.
a minute, just one more time, we'll go back. Is it just
I
gonna
thought
be?
we were moving right along.
I just had a brain like that. Is it just gonna be the two mayors that are gonna meet?
Yeah, and they're gonna give you a resolution. and then
I
you'll-
would like to add, our commission chairman to be in on that meeting.
Can't.
Yeah,
We
break
both sat on
sunshine
the budget
law.
committee meeting.
Yep.
We both sat on the budget.
Well, we make public notice of it. Jeremy put it in the paper.
Here's what's gonna happen, they're gonna come back with a resolution. You're either gonna like it or not, so you get to vote yes or no.
But we won't get all the details that don't come out. Moving right along.
Moving right along.
I'll call your coach.
Okay, would you? Somebody, at least somebody left me back there, at least I get included on the phone call.
Wrong side of the river, brother.
That's right.
Okay, Mayor
Y'all
Bradshaw.
don't even have turf over there, do you?
No,
Little
no.
City has turf, Loudon has turf, Greenback don't have no turf.
North
We've
City
got a,
don't have turf
we've,
yet.
we've got a AstroTurf welcome mat at the school door.
That's,
Woo, we get distracted
Okay.
easy. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
oh, man.
Boards, committees that are new are there. Also, Commissioners Waller and Schaefer wanted to keep their, what was the name of it?
Planning and Zoning Study Committee.
Planning and Zoning Study Committee intact as well, so I would ask the commission if they would entertain redoing that one as well. And the list that was given out, how did we get the right list out? Did I ever get you right?
We never know.
Yeah, 'cause there'll be somebody either moved away or deceased on one of those lists.
I got the name of the one that's deceased from the meeting today. so
I'll make a
it's
motion, we approve the boards and committees. Hey, guys, we're not done. We may come back and revisit that, you better not leave. It's a live wire tonight.
Okay, we got a motion to approve the board recommendations.
I will second that motion.
Okay, we got a motion seconded by Commissioner Brewster. Any further discussion? All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Tell me who's on the airport authority? Do we have 747s landing here or what?
Little Cessna, stinging like a Cessna.
I pitched a fit when that come up. 15 years ago.
Yeah.
Why on earth? The state of Tennessee says every county has to have an airport authority.
Okay,
Airport in my district.
We have several little airports, but we don't do nothing.
We've
But
got at
that's,
least 3.
that's why we have it.
Moving right along.
moving right along, sorry.
I was contacted by Tony Givens, he is our executive director for Habitat for Humanity. They are putting in for a grant, and it's a competitive grant, it's not a guarantee, but they get extra bonus points if the counties or cities that they are occupying, or if they are participating in, working in, put a little skin in the game, so to speak. So if Loudon County would entertain to waive the building permit fees for the Habitat, this would give them extra points when they apply for their grant.
Make a motion, we do that.
Second on the motion.
Do we know, I have no problem with it, do we know if it's legal? We can't waive property
Yeah, well,
taxes,
there's
we
different
can't waive a
counties.
lot of things. Can we actually waive
We
this
see
and
now-
not get into a problem with saying
Different
equality?
counties throughout the state are doing it. And as well, facilities tax doesn't pertain to Habitat either. They're exempt under the state.
That's right.
Are all nonprofits exempt from AFT or
Just
just
Habitat for
Habitat?
Humanity.
Church.
Do they build any in the county?
Oh, gosh, yeah.
Okay, there you go.
Well, they're always in the cities, but they're still in the
Yeah.
county.
Yeah, they have to have, of course, our development has to have the sewer and electric, it's a lot easier to do those in the city. Right now with and I'm on the board, if anybody didn't know, with the restrictions we have as far as our 2.5 per
The
acre,
ones in the county.
heavy concentration right now on redos and rehomes, and this is one to, effectively, it would be an effort to, when somebody comes to Habitat for Humanity, say they're living in a single wide, absolutely nothing to do, nothing against anybody that lives in a single wide. Instead of rebuilding or redoing it, they would actually take the single wide out and build a small home for them similar size. So it's gonna be permanent structures instead of mobile homes.
It's a little more stable during inclement weather.
But they still have to meet building codes.
Oh, absolutely, yes.
Oh,
Yes.
yeah.
But it still have to be inspected, but just
Yeah.
not
Yeah,
just
just have to
wait.
go through and get a CO and everything.
Okay, good deal.
We've got a motion by Commissioner Satterfield, seconded by Commissioner Tinker. Any further discussion? I think it's a good idea. I'm all for helping the people out.
Was it Tinker?
I think it was Mr. Mears.
Okay.
Oh, it was Mears, I'm
That's what I
sorry.
got. Okay, I just wanted to make sure.
I missed it, my
That's
mistake. Okay, any further discussion? Since there's money involved, call the roll.
Whitfield. Cohen.
Aye.
Duff.
Aye.
Shaver.
Aye.
Waller.
Aye.
Brewster.
Aye.
Mears.
Aye.
Tinker.
Aye.
Satterfield.
Aye.
Okay. Motion carries.
Tracy.
Okay.
Are you here?
Anything else, Mr. Mayor?
I was gonna do it at the end of the meeting, I'll go ahead and do it now. I also wanna congratulate, Commissioner Duff. Saturday night, Commissioner Duff was, inducted into the 2021 class of Loudon County Public.
Congratulations.
Free elephants for everybody.
Okay,
The first
Tracy
item-
Blair?
First item under my name, thank you, sir. Is consideration of recommendation to approve application and acceptance of grants. The ECHO grant for the senior center, the DOE grant for off-site emergency planning. There are no matching funds. These are grants that we receive every year.
We'll take them both.
Yes.
Take them both.
Motion. Second.
Okay, we got a motion and a second.
Who was the motion?
Waller.
Who was second?
Who was the second?
Tinker.
Tinker.
Mr. Tinkler.
That's not nice. All right, we
That's what
got
the
a
lady called
motion and
him.
a
I can't
second.
help it.
Any further discussion? Okay, it's money involved, call the roll.
Cohen.
Aye.
Duff.
Aye.
Shaver.
Aye.
Waller.
Aye.
Brewster. Aye. Mears.
Aye.
Tinker.
Aye.
Satterfield.
Aye.
Whitfield.
Okay,
Thank you. The next item is consideration of recommendation to approve amendments in the funds that are listed. The budget committee recommends approval of all of them.
Make a motion, we approve.
okay, we got a motion to approve. You gonna do them all at once?
All at once.
Okay, all at once. Do we have a second?
I second.
Okay, second from Commissioner Brewster. Any further discussion? There's money involved, call the roll.
Duff.
Yes.
Shaver.
Aye.
Waller.
Aye.
Brewster. Aye. Mears.
Aye.
Tinker.
I don't see any educational things.
Satterfield.
Aye.
Whitfield. Cohen.
Aye.
And summary financial statements for the month of July.
As soon as I said it, I thought,
The budget committee meeting
You missed
minutes
so much.
for 2 meetings will be approved at the next budget committee meeting. So those will be distributed to the commission after they are approved. Thank you, sir.
Okay,
Thank you, Tracy.
I would point out to Mr. Tinker over there that while he's worried about that statement, he did forget during the budget adoption.
Yeah, I
night
know.
to read
I already called Pat Hunter and asked for forgiveness.
For permission, I mean forgiveness, yeah.
Forgiveness of my sins, yes.
Help our Father.
did you give forgiveness?
Anybody hurt you, Pat?
She was very supportive of
Omission?
yes. Yeah, well, no. She was not supportive of that. She was, that I called to apologize to her. But she's a stickler for the rules, like am I, and I just forgot.
Okay, Commissioner Mears, bonds and notaries.
Mr. Chairman, I'd like to present 15 names to be submitted for approval tonight, August the 2nd, 2021, within the form of a motion.
We got a motion and
That
a
was a
second.
hiccup. I wasn't giving you no second. I'm not gonna give you no second.
Okay. Any discussion on the bonds and notaries? All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, motion carries.
Motion to adjourn.
Make a motion to
Second.
adjourn.
Okay.
I have one more question.
It was quick over here. Who made the adjournment motion?
Ms. Satterfield,
That'd be who seconded it?
I did.
Okay, there you go.
Thank you.
All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Okay, anybody opposed? We're done.
Turn it off. Turn it off.